We have a lot of star power here today. Unfortunately, the press can't seem to get enough. Hello, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Choice Foundation's first annual giving. My name is Sadia Hamiduddin, and I am your host today. It was Mahatma Gandhi who once famously said that it is health that is the real wealth, and not pieces of gold and silver. This is the sort of fundamental belief that has given Choice Foundation the tenacity to work for the vision of a healthier and wealthier India for the past 10 years. In a befitting recognition of their decade in the tireless service of underprivileged children, Choice Foundation has recently received a generous donation from Mass Mutual India. A Fortune 500 company, Mass Mutual has a rich history of tremendous social responsibility. And it is in the same vein that Mass Mutual India is investing in its local community. It is to commemorate this invaluable partnership that we welcome you all here today. It is unfortunate that our Honorable Minister of Scheduled, Tribal, Women, and Child Welfare, Srimati Satyavati Rathod, was unable to grace us with her presence this evening. However, we are honored with the attendance of our eminent guests. To start our proceedings for the evening, I would like to invite Board Member of Choice Foundation, Mr. Bhaskar Reddy, to welcome Mr. Ravi Tangirala, Head of Mass Mutual India, on stage. Thank you, Mr. Bhaskar. I would like to invite Board Member of Choice Foundation, Ms. Madhavi Chalasani, to welcome three-time National Award-winning Director, Padma Shri awardee, S.S. Rajamouli, on stage. Thank you, Ms. Madhavi. I would like to invite Board Member of Choice Foundation, Mr. Sanjay Gadipati, to welcome Wisden Indian Cricketer of the Century, Mr. Kapil Dev, on stage. Thank you, Sanjay. I would like to request all our esteemed guests to light the lamp and inaugurate this momentous occasion. Would the board members of Choice Foundation please join? Thank you, everyone. Doctor, you could take a. Thank you. Choice Foundation's exemplary work speaks for itself, has received appreciation at the highest level, with the Honorable Vice President of India, Venkaiah Naidu, offering his endorsement. It is my great honor to relay his words to you here today. I compliment the Choice Foundation for its dedicated efforts to make a difference in the lives of underprivileged children by focusing on their preventative health care and facilitating intensive care and emergency treatment to those requiring it. Every child has a right to good health, and organizations like the Choice Foundation play an important role in supplementing the efforts of the government and providing a healthy childhood to our youngsters. Values like showing concern for others and caring for them are a part of Indian culture, and I am sure that the service being rendered by the Choice Foundation will greatly benefit the needy children. I wish them continued success in the days to come. While our Honorable Minister could not be here today, she was kind enough to send a message addressing this gathering. I would like to invite Ms. Madhavi Chalasani to relay her words to you here today.
Good evening. పేదలు బలహీన వర్గాలకు చెందిన పిల్లలకు పౌష్టికాహారం, ఆరోగ్యం, ప్రత్యేక చికిత్సలు, అత్యవసర వైద్యం అందించేందుకు ద చాయిస్ ఫౌండేషన్ సంస్థ చేస్తున్న కృషి అభినందనీయం. ఈ దేశంలో పుట్టిన ప్రతి ఒక్కరికి పౌష్టికాహారం, ఆరోగ్యం పొందే హక్కు రాజ్యాంగం కల్పించింది. విధి వంచితులు, ప్రమాదాల బారి పడిన వారిని అత్యవసర వైద్యం, ప్రత్యేక చికిత్స పొందడం అవసరం. అయితే దేశంలో చాలామంది పేదలకు ఇవి లభించడం లేదు. తెలంగాణ రాష్ట్ర గౌరవ ముఖ్యమంత్రి శ్రీ కల్వకుట్ల చంద్రశేఖరరావు గారి నాయకత్వంలో ఈ రాష్ట్రంలోని పేదలు, బలహీన వర్గాల పిల్లలు, మహిళల ఆరోగ్యంపై ప్రత్యేక దృష్టి పెట్టి అనేక పథకాలు అమలు చేస్తున్నాం. ఆరోగ్య లక్ష్మి పథకం, బాలామృతం ద్వారా పౌష్టికాహారం అందించడం, మెడికల్ కాలేజీలు, సూపర్ స్పెషాలిటీ హాస్పిటల్స్ నెలకొల్పడం ద్వారా ప్రత్యేక చికిత్సలను మరియు అమ్మ ఒడి 108, 108, 104, 1098 వాహనాల ద్వారా అత్యవసర వైద్య సహాయాన్ని అందిస్తూ వారి ఆరోగ్య పరిరక్షణ చేస్తున్నాం. తెలంగాణ రాష్ట్ర దేశానికే రోల్ మోడల్గా ఉండే విధంగా పోషకాహారం లోపం ఉన్న వారికి ప్రత్యేక పౌష్టికాహార పథకాన్ని, అనాథలందరికీ ప్రభుత్వమే తల్లిదండ్రులుగా సంరక్షించే సమగ్ర విధానాన్ని త్వరలోనే అమలు చేయబోతున్నాం. ప్రభుత్వం చేస్తున్న ఈ కార్యక్రమాలను ది చాయిస్ ఫౌండేషన్ సంస్థ ద్వారా చేసే సేవలు ఎంతో దోహదపడి పేదలకు మరింత మేలు చేస్తాయని ఆశిస్తూ అభినందనలతో మీ సత్యవతి రాజు.
Thank you, Ms. Madhavi, and thank you to our Honorable Minister for taking the time and sending a message. And now, to tell us about the pioneering efforts of Choice Foundation, I would like to call upon Dr. Satish Ghanta, a founding member and chairman of Choice Foundation.
At the outset, I'd like to thank the guests who graced the dais. Sri Kapil Dev, sir, you have been an inspiration and you have been gracing our Choice Foundation events and helping us from the beginning. Thank you so much. రాజమౌళి గారు చాలా చాలా థ్యాంక్స్ అండి. మీరు వచ్చినందుకు సంతోషం, మీరు వచ్చినందుకు మాకు బలం కూడా చాలా. రవి తంగిరాల గారు, it's an honor to have you amongst us. and all the guests who have come, every single person. I can't take their names, but it means a lot to me, sir. I don't know whether you've felt it when I greeted you, but a program which is so passionate, we've been doing it with so much of passion. And for all of you to grace this occasion, honestly, from each and every member of our board who are all sitting there, I humbly thank each and every one of you, for being here. And also the press to bring about awareness about what we are doing. Thank you so much once again. Thank you so much once. So I'd like to share with you a couple of startling facts. I mean, every year, 25 million children are born in India, and 1/5 of them are born in India. As you're aware, 1/5 of the population resides in India. And the startling fact here is every minute one child dies, every minute. The under 5 mortality is 34.3 per 1,000 live births. And again, the sad or the startling fact here is it's preventable. Many of them are preventable. The first most thing preventable here is acute respiratory infection. Simple, daggu, jalabu. When they get into pneumonia, very much preventable. Second most, atisara, loose stools, gastroenteritis, very much preventable. But we see a lot of lives, young lives getting wasted. Apart from these acute things that we see, 50 million children suffering from psychiatric disorders in the country. That's the rough estimate. And the cost, they say, it's close to $1.03 trillion by 2030, in 10 years' time. That's close to half of our GDP. See, that's the kind of problem, and we expect our demographic dividend to be nice and healthy, but that's the kind of problems, especially with the psychiatric problems. And we have close to 20 million special needs children. So these are the hard facts, and what I'm going to speak is actually going to form the basis for what we actually do. So our vision is to secure a physical and mental well-being of our children. And our mission is a threefold mission. We do curative healthcare, ensuring that no child dies due to lack of healthcare and funds. We ensure to prevent disabilities of the mind as well as the body. That's the preventive health aspect that we do. And the most important thing here is we want to equip the policymakers with the kind of data that we have. Because we've done quite a bit of work, which I'm going to share now. And what I feel and what our team feels, all the board, we all feel that whatever we do, everything is digitized. So down the line, let us say we've done X number of children. A year, 2, 3 years down the line, we're going to have big numbers. And those data is going to speak for itself, and we believe that the healthcare policy would certainly make a difference. So the first thing that we do, I am an intensivist. I am a pediatric intensivist. I am a pediatrician, but my core area is I do work with children from the whole of the mornings who are sick. They are the sick children, needing intensive care, close to death, either be it newborn babies or children until 16 to 18 years. So we provide state-of-the-art intensive care for those children who can't afford. Socioeconomically challenged children, yes, so a third of the cost we pay, a third of the cost the patient pays, and the hospital gives a third of the cost free of charge. So with that, we've helped so many children. So that is what we've been doing for 10 to 12 years. And over the last 6 years, we thought there's so many preventable diseases that we could easily prevent, as I've just mentioned in the previous slide. Lots of easily preventable diseases. So we've designed a very digitized program called My Child Health. As you're all aware, all of us are above 40s here, most of us at least. And if you see, we all have various master health checks, cardiac health checks. We have, lipid profile checks, and various kinds of health checks. Yes, we do it for ourselves. Just have your hand on your heart and say, how many of you have had a comprehensive pediatric health check done for your own children? For your own children? I don't think the answer is, is a very, very good one, right? So the reason is simple. It's just not that we don't care. It's not that we don't like to do. We would want to give our best for the children. But there's no program, in that way. There's no comprehensive, pediatric healthcare program. That's the problem. So we've devised this very digitized program where we have precision medical equipment going to the rural schools. Like how, let us say, they want to get their eyes tested. They come to LV Prasad and get them tested. Just like how they get it done there in Hyderabad, we transport the machinery there. That's the first thing. Secondly, the problem is with doctors, everybody has their own way of doing things. So we said, no, let that not be the case. We want a very digitized program which is specific. That means any doctor goes and sees, he's got to follow the protocol there. So we've got SOPs in place, protocols in place. The third most important thing is the state-of-the-art software. It took us 5 years to develop that. But yes, it was hard work. We failed once, we failed twice, we failed thrice. Almost 4 times we failed. And it was worth that effort. It was worth that effort because we want to just enter the results. And once you press enter, when all the 7 departments are done, we get a digitized report. Mind you, it's not just a digitized report. We get a ICD coding. What's ICD coding? That's the International Classification of Diseases, what the WHO has. That means they can go to China and have this report. They have the ICD code, say they know what this child, what myopia, presbyopia, hypermetropia, whatever the problem is, it's there. So that's the kind of program we have developed. And last but not the least is the psych screen, which I'm going to talk about. As I've said, mental health problems are too many. There are lots of issues with the issues, but with the child's mental health, even adults' health as well. But the big problem is, how do you get to the problem? We have a population of 130 crores, and out of which 1/3 of them are children. And how many psychologists do we have to screen everybody? No, we don't. It's hardly 5,000, in the whole country. So how do you do it? This is a digitized version where we send off questionnaire to the parents and the children who are above 11 and the teachers. So with this questionnaire, once they answer the questionnaire, my system, the software will be able to pick up, is it a child at risk or not at risk? So whoever the children are at risk, which is usually 20-25%, so those children only get the test done by the detailed test done by the child psychologist. The other 80% they don't, because they're all normal. So that's the beauty of this program, and the beauty of this thing is it's scalable. So you don't need somebody to do the psych screen. It's online. You send the questionnaire online. Based on what they fill up, we get it. So that is important. That what we need right now in the rural healthcare is scalability. And yes, we have the answer for that. The second aspect in the preventive healthcare is we've been working heavily with the orphans. We have amongst our midst another angel here. It's an angel organization called ABC, Advocates for Babies in Crisis, and they work with the orphans. So both of us together, we collaborate, and they do the groundwork in picking up the children who are sick in the orphanage, and then we do the treatment aspect of it. So we've done a comprehensive approach, complete comprehensive approach. I'll go to the details with rehabilitation plan, and the main thing here is functionality. Our aim was, yes, how can we get these special needs children to be functional? So that's the impact we have done. Over 400 children with the who have had critically ill problems. Close to 10,000 children where we have worked in 4 South Indian states. 15,500 untreated conditions diagnosed, and 331 orphans from 7 orphanages in the city. So this is a child whom, in the intensive care, this is not now, this was in 2013. Mother and father had a tiff. and unfortunately the father, he has burned his wife alive. While this mother was burning in the flames, this little girl, she went and hugged her mother. If you see, actually there's a boy and a girl they have. So the boy ran for his life out of the house when he saw his mother in flames. But this girl just ran and just hugged her mother's feet. So everything that you see right now, except her face and her front aspect, every single part of her body was burned. 2 days later, this mother was admitted in the hospital, in the government hospital. They come from a scheduled caste, scheduled tribe family, very impoverished. So this mother has died on day 2. The dying words of this mother, when she was about to die, she said, to her mother said, please take care of this child. And if you can take care of this child, I know it's difficult. Inta veshamichi champe ee pillani. That's the sad story, because she didn't want her husband to have the child. She died. And then 8 to 9 days later, this child was extremely sick. She had infection all over. She was brought to us in a comatose stage. At that time, I didn't have the support of, stalwarts like you. All I did was I called my friend in one of the, because I do a lot of shows where I do public speaking for the sake of children, so that it's just informative talks. Regularly, I do it at least 1 to 2 times a week. So I called Gemini Television and I asked them, what can we do for this child? I can't see this child die. If I don't do anything, this child is going to die. And this child does need a lot of money. So, and what they said was, can we have a program, sir? So they came over. So, and they transmitted this live. And I had a passionate appeal for this child. Trust me, even today I have goosebumps talking about this child. And there's a lot of support. Right through the night, we've had so many people calling. And I remember there was a welder from the high-tech city. He was into some building. His daily wage was 400 rupees. He called saying, sir, I'm a welder. Is it okay? Can you take 400 rupees? Is that okay? And then the next day we had a beggar. Sir, I don't have any money. Fruits, can I give? That's the kind of help. It was overwhelming. And then we collected close to about 9 lakhs. And this journey was about for almost 2 to 2.5 months. So this child was in coma for 10 days, came out of coma, but needed surgeries because, as I said, it's burnt, completely burnt. And close to 22 to 23 surgeries, in the sense debridement and plastic surgery. And problem was there was no skin, normal skin. It was the face and the abdomen and a little bit of the front of the thigh. So it was a challenge. But trust me, it was so overwhelming, so heartening. And I got support from all quarters. And that's the day I thought, no, I'm not alone. There are lots of people who would want to do this and would be interested in going in this journey. It was well worth it. That was when she was going home, and that's her brother. And that's her grandmother, who actually is taking care of the child now. And it's such a heartening thing. Right now, she is 3 plus 6, almost 9, 10 years. She's in school and she's doing well. And out of that 9 lakhs that we've collected, 2 lakhs were remaining. So that was used for the children's books, education, and because the grandmother is supporting this child, so that was given to her as well. It was very heartening. She comes for follow-up even now, and she's doing very, very well, and she's very naughty as well. Now, going back to the rural health, work that we have done, if you see, that's 909,366 children from 4 states, and if you see the stats, 20% have visual difficulties. 3.5%, they didn't know that they had a visual problem, unless we told them that this child is deaf. The teacher asked us why, but she's able to do well in class, because the child was picking up from the cues from what
the lip movement and the actions, that's what. And their performance was not great. So we picked it up, impact. When we started this program, I said, if I'm able to make one impact in one child, na janma dhanyamayin anukunna. I said, my life is done. But to see these many impacts, it's really heartening. Dental, of course, 6.5% were anemic. In the rural population, the obesity wasn't there. But in the 3 or 4 schools that we've done in Hyderabad, you can see 50% were obese. And that was the cause for hypertension. This is a startling fact as well. 4% of children have hypertension. If we identify them early, they live 100 years. If you don't, they have a heart disease or a kidney disease, or they die by 25 to 30. Trust me, I'm not exaggerating it. We've had live examples, even in, it's there. So, but hypertension is a big thing. Even in hospitals, you can check in pediatric hospitals, do they do a blood pressure for every child that walks in? No. The answer is no. Even adult doctors, many of them are not aware that children have a problem called hypertension. So our job is to identify them early, simple diet restrictions and medications. Trust me, they'll live 100 years. Psychology, if you see, there are 2 things. Close to 7% of them have ADHD, intellectual disabilities, behavioral disabilities. Now, this stat is about the orphanages that we have worked with. We have worked with special needs children, and see the stats. Half of them are undernourished, 30% are stunted, 2.2% hypertensive, 33% iron deficient, vitamin D 60% deficient, vitamin B12 9%, folic acid 5%. See the numbers. Visual difficulties close to 90%, Hearing aid 20%. There were about 18 children who needed hearing aids. Speech therapy 14%. Dental, not a surprise at all. And see the children with psychiatric disorders needing occupational therapy and physiotherapy, close to 90%. Orthotics, they just couldn't walk. They were on the floor. We had to give orthotics for the hands, for the feet, and for the back. As I said, we want to make them functional. And close to 90% of them needed MRI. And we did this exome sequencing. It's a very costly affair. It cost 35,000 rupees for one child. And this is the second set of orphans they felt were not physically or mentally challenged as much as the first group. But same here, if you see 30% were underweight. That you see 2 groups here. One group is less than 6 years, the other group is more than 6 years. If you see the children who are less than 6 years are more underweight and more stunted. Hypertensive, yes, there were 2 children here. Iron deficiency, vitamin D deficiency, B12 deficiency, and visual problems close to 30%, and 10% in more than 6-year-old children. Hearing aids, close to 40% of them needed, and therapy, speech therapy as well. 2 children needed speech therapy. Psychological issues, 4% needing therapy, and same with the occupational therapy and the physiotherapy. So it's big numbers. But thanks to my team, we were able to do a good job. So one team we have here, that's our Choice Foundation team. Another team I have in the hospital. And whenever I say, listen, we've got to do this, they never say no. And they always have a smile despite having to work extra hours for these children. So our plan for the future. So at this outset, I would sincerely like to thank Ravi Garu for making this pledge. That means a lot to us, sir. That means a lot to us. Thank you so much. And I think if we all can work together, we can create a world where every single child counts, not just our children. Every single child counts. Because what's important here is the demographic dividend that we're going to give for the future. That's important because India, yes, has the youngest demography in the world. Yes, but if we have them healthy, in the next 1 to 2 decades, I think sky is the limit for our country to grow in a very, very prosperous way. And our aim for this year, we want to do 6 children in the intensive care a month, close to 18,000 children in the preventive care through the My Child Health program, and the orphanages around the state of Telangana to start with, There are about close to 500 of them we want to do. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for patient hearing. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Satish, for sharing that inspiring work that Choice Foundation does. With immense gratitude, I would now like to invite Mr. Ravi Thangirala to address our audience.
Distinguished guests on the stage, my childhood hero and the legendary Kapil Dev Garu, the magician of Indian cinema, Rajamouli Garu, and distinguished guests in front of the dais, close friends, well-wishers, my leadership team, and all the dignitaries that are here, including press. Good evening, and thank you for making yourself available for such a wonderful cause and a noble effort towards the children this evening. After hearing Satish Garu's presentation, I don't want to dilute the whole information with my speech, so I'll try to keep it very short. Just to talk about MassMutual. We are a 171-year-old organization, which is essentially built on a foundation of live mutual philosophy. It's not just philosophy, it is what we are. We truly care about our customers and their loved ones. When it comes to Choice Foundation, when the second wave essentially hit, the entire executive team, senior leadership team, and the leadership team here in India, we wanted to do something, not only to the land where we originated from, but also where we are operating. We started looking at what is the organization that can truly help the needy. And one thing that's stuck in our minds is the category of 0 to 6, which is the most valuable age group, also the most vulnerable age group. When we heard the presentation, proposal from Choice Foundation, we didn't see the pages in the deck, see the passion from Dr. Satish Garu and the board of directors. It's truly amazing on the depth of knowledge that they have in the area that they are operating in and the true passion that they bring in to their work to support that age group. In a lot of meetings I go, I try to wear my suit, my title, and try to talk with my brain. But when I started talking to Dr. Satish Garu and team, I started, being a human being, started thinking with my heart. It's not easy to convince a lot of groups, about a small foundation that has passion and essentially be the corporate partner. We have gone through that thorough due diligence process and multiple steps and made this even possible. With immense pleasure, on behalf of our CEO and President, Roger Crandall, Head of MassMutual Foundation, Mr. Dennis, and all the other executive leadership team, and MassMutual India leadership team, and the entire family of MassMutual India. With a lot of excitement, a lot of thrilling experience, with a heavy heart and happy tears, I would like to announce that we have given 2 crores to this foundation. It's being head of the organization, there are a lot of approvals that essentially come to me. And when this one approval came to my system, my fingers were literally trembling. Because I still remember what Dr. Satish Garu said. Ravi Garu, there are times where the parents do not have 5,000 rupees to save their kids. Being a father, I know what kind of pain me and my wife go through. With all the possible resources that we have to cure the child, essentially take care of them, and we want to give all the possible medications in the world to cure the baby next day. But just imagine a mother who is taking care of a sick child, a father who's trying to take care of the child, but in a helpless situation. And a child who's not even able to express the pain that he or she is going through. And if the baby is in the terminal stage, God only knows how much pain those parents is. So it's really a heartwarming experience. And really, a truly thrilling experience for us to go through this journey and be where we are today. And when I had the opportunity to host this session, I learned how much Dr. Satish Garu, is involved in this. Some of the stories that he shared, they are there in my mind. They are engraved in my mind forever. I believe in only one thing. I have not seen a walking God yet, but I have seen the doctors who are the true walking gods in all our lives. So what we are doing today is we are giving that little bit of support to those miracle hands so that they can do more magic and save the more and more lives. Satish Garu, this is just the start, and this is just a drop in the ocean. And with the passion that you have, there are a lot of companies, organizations, and people with big hearts. They will come forward and they will support you. As an organization, on behalf of my entire leadership, we are there. We are there behind your foundation. And we will work like soldiers to save the children, because every child matters. They say, Sarve Jana Sukhino Bhavantu, Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Thank you. The effort that you are putting together and the minds that you are bringing together, the people that you are bringing together, it will be remembered forever. And when the child that you saved, when he or she comes in front of you tomorrow, the pleasure that you get, not measurable. And thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to support. It's not the other way around. I always tell one thing to Dr. Satish Garu. You can be us at any given point of time, but we cannot be you at any given point of our life. And I truly mean it. And I sincerely thank all the board members of Choice Foundation, Bhaskar Reddy Garu, Chobu Garu, Sanjay Garu, and each and everyone. Thank you. The journey is awesome. Just the start. We have a long way to go. And on behalf of my entire team, once again, thank you so much for the opportunity and truly, truly appreciate it. And thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ravi, for sharing those inspiring words and motivating, hopefully, each one of us to do our bit. I would like to request you now, Mr. Ravi Tangarala, to please present the check of 2 crore rupees to Choice Foundation. Can the board members of Choice Foundation please join up on stage? Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Ravi Tangarala. This contribution of Mass Mutual will go a long way into ensuring that the vision of Choice Foundation is led to fruition to ensure that every child counts. I would now like to request Mr. Kapil Dev to address this gathering.
Good evening, namaskar. We need director to be. Yeah, without them, it's very difficult to work. Satish, well done. Congratulations, knowing you for so many years, and your passion towards the work is excellent. I always believe that you have to have a passion to do anything. People come and go, we will come and go, but I think the work what you are doing will remain throughout. It's the people like you, very, very important, what I feel, who given life to other people. I think we give smile to other people, you give life to other people, and that's important. I known you for so many years. I never thought of one day I will come out and see the success what you have. But unbelievable. And it's just the beginning. When I met you first time, we never thought 10 lakhs was big enough to contribute. And today, Ravi, you come out and pay 2 crores. You feel the work must be gone in the right direction to achieve something like that. I think people like us or the media have one responsibility, the awareness. Sometimes you want to give, but you have no idea what's happening around you. And if we can bring, and media, awareness to the people, we will not find one Ravi, we'll find 100 Ravi to come forward to help any charitable organization. Very important to have charitable mind. That's very, very important. And I feel we all, God have given us so much. If 5% we give our effort, 5% our love, money to the charity, this world looks so beautiful. It is not, we have to smile. We have to smile with everybody. If we keep on becoming rich and the people around us poor, it's really hurt you. I just like to say to everybody, to the media, more responsibility. Awareness is everything today, and you can do it. I can understand TRP sometimes. You make sensational news, but sometimes these beautiful news are much better than sensational news, which we get TRP. But I want to say, without media, it's not possible. Satish, you can do anything, we can do anything, but if we can get the right support from the media, this trouble will go faster out of our way than later. I wish you, and more than you, to your entire team. It's not you, it's the team who are behind the show. They are spending so much time, effort, and they don't get recognition. I like, thanks to them, to give so much effort and time. You can clap once again for those people who are behind. Well done. Keep up the good work. And I love you all. And I want to wish you, next time when we come out, we'll come out for a 4 crore rupees of check. Somebody will come forward. Wish you all the luck, and that's what we can do. Wherever you need people like us, we will be there. But again, you are the one who are showing the route and the way. Good luck. Keep up the good work.
Thank you, sir, for that very important message and for appealing to our collective charitable conscience. We appreciate your continued support for Choice Foundation over the years. I would now like to request Mr. Rajamouli to address this gathering.
Andarki namaskaram andi. Few years back, my producer Shobhu introduced me to Satish Garu, and basically he told me what he spoke about in his speech. And just like the overwhelming feeling that we had when he was speaking, I had the same kind of overwhelming feeling, the same kind of despair, and the same kind of hope. And I didn't even have an iota of an idea that a child can have hypertension. I just couldn't believe that. And the list of problems the child could have, as he was mentioning one by one, I was completely overwhelmed. And the good thing is, he said like 90% of them, 80 to 90% of all those problems have simple solution. It's not that we don't need to spend hundreds or thousands of rupees or lakhs of rupees to cure the child to have a nice, healthy life. It is just that early intervention, and we can have the child lead a beautiful life. And even that, he had programs to do that. It's like if you just look at the numbers, how can you screen 25% of the India's children? You can't do that, but he had programs for that. And he also explained the solutions which are scalable. And at the end of it, if all this data has been is collected and put in a proper way and presented to the government officials or the policy makers, it is easy for the governments to take up the data and give a comprehensive program for the entire country. Now, it is like a from the beginning to end solution. But the whole thing was so big and so overwhelming. I said, like, in such a big program, what can I do? You want me to contribute some money? What can I do? And he said, money is not the issue. Money will come. He cited the same example of the Gemini TV program. He was saying, money will come, but what we need is awareness, to create awareness. So that's when I thought I will be supportive of his program. And from then onwards, wherever possible, whenever possible, we were doing seminars, webinars, telling everyone that we know that such and such a problem exists, such and such a solution exists, and all of us need to be aware of it and contribute in whichever way we can. We were doing these programs, and then one day in one of the webinar, just before we were beginning to start, Shobhu told me that there is one Mr. Ravi Tangarala who is watching the whole program from US. He's going to witness this program, and he's very much willing to contribute to this program. And I felt like we were being judged. Okay, someone is watching us over, and somehow I had a feeling that this is the connection that needs to happen. No, I subconsciously I had a kind of intuition that this is going to happen today. This is the first step. I can't say we, because my contribution was very, very small, but the Choice Foundation, what they were working for so many years, putting in so much of effort, this is a moment that is going to be fruitified. This is the moment that is going to happen. And we had a fantastic session that day. And at the end of the program, I asked Satish Garu, please let me know when Mr. Ravi Tangarala is going to come and join hands with us. And we waited with a bated breath, and it was very kind of a suspenseful movie for me. To explain it better, sir, I didn't watch 1983 World Cup live, but later on when I was watching it on DVD, even though I knew that we won the match, just when Richard's ball was in the air and you were running backwards to catch the ball, it felt like an eternity. I thought my breath stopped. I didn't know whether you would take the catch or not. Probably the ball was just in the air for 4 or 5 seconds. But when you caught it, I remember the tension. I remember the happiness when you took the catch. The same kind of feeling happened to me, but this went on for not 4 or 5 seconds, but 4 or 5 months. No. So finally, when I got a call from Satish Garu that Ravi Garu has joined hands, I felt so happy. No, the word that Satish Garu said to me that no, money is not the issue. Money will come. It's the awareness that we need. That stayed in my mind for a long time. In my movie that's going to come next, RRR, there is a dialogue which goes like, "Yuddhani vetukuntu ayudhalu vatantrave vastayi." No, the weapons will come in search of the war. When the war you are fighting is a justified one. When it's a dharma yuddha, no, the weapons will come by themselves. So I look at Ravi Garu like a weapon, and I just don't look at him as like one single weapon, because I was just told it is not just him. He bought all his friends from the IT giants, from CSR, heads of CSR programs who are here today. Sirs, I look at you as weapons who are going to join this Dharma Yuddha. And we are going to win this war. And I am so happy so thankful for Satish Garu for making me a part of this program. And I know this is a successful step, but a successful first step in a big program that is going to run for years to come. Our success will finally come when the governments, whether the state government or the central government, is going to look at the data being provided by the Choice Foundation and takes it up as a national health issue. That is our final goal, and today is the first step towards it. Just like how we are successful in this first step, I'm very sure that we are going to be successful in the final step too. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir, for your patronage of Choice Foundation over the years. I think it is truly a testament to the work that Choice Foundation does, that you have eminent personalities from markedly different walks of life coming together for a single cause. I now request Mr. Shobhu Yarlagada to deliver the vote of thanks on behalf of Choice Foundation.
Good evening, everyone. It's really a wonderful evening, an exciting evening for us at Choice Foundation. I would like to begin by thanking Shri Venkaiah Naidu Garu, the Vice President of India, for his endorsement and support to the cause of the foundation. And also, it was unfortunate that Honorable Minister for Women and Child Welfare, Ms. Sachwati Rathod Garu, could not make it today because of family emergency. But I humbly thank her for her message and look forward to her support in the months to come. I would like to thank Head of Mass Mutual India, Mr. Ravi Tangirala, and his entire team who are here today for this generous donation. I think it's a milestone moment for the foundation. We believe that this is we've been doing work in a small way, but this gives us the impetus to think bigger, think larger, and I think as a milestone, and it's definitely a milestone marker, and it gives us great responsibility to use these funds in a way that we create large impact and significant impact in the society, especially among the children, and which will be an example for others to come forward and contribute more in the years to come, months and years to come. I would also like to thank Dennis Dakat, Head of Mass Mutual Foundation, who heard our presentation, who was instrumental in listening to all our thoughts and supporting us at this juncture and at this crucial juncture. Also, the Mass Mutual team has been here playing a big role behind the scenes. The entire Mass Mutual team, Mass Mutual India team, thank you for all your support from behind the scenes. I would like to thank the esteemed guests who have come here, the invitees from Ravi Tangirala and other invitees from the foundation. So I know you all have a very busy schedules, and you made your time, shows your interest for the cause and how passionate you are. Really, thank you for making the time and being present here. I hope it's in the presentations and the talk have inspired you about the foundation. And we are very happy to take any questions or clarifications that you might have. I'd like to thank the media, press and electronic media for their support. And like Kapil Ji said, you need to create awareness, and we record for your spreading this message as much as possible. Kapil Dev Ji and Rajmouli sir, you've been here with us all along. You've been our pillars of support, and at every instance all we had to do was pick up a phone call, and you were here to support us. And I think going forward also, we look forward to your support in the coming months and years to come. Thank you so much, both of you, sir. And I would like to thank the Choice Foundation team, which has been playing a huge role, and the Little Star Hospital team, which has played a significant role in the entire all these years. I would also thank my colleagues from the Choice Foundation, Sanjay, Dr. Sir Rupa Ganta, and Dr. Satish Ganta, and Madhuri Chalsani, and Bhaskar Reddy Garu, for all your support and for making this event successful and the journey successful. So I think I've mentioned everyone. And thank you Sadia, for hosting this evening. She's not a professional host. She just took it upon herself to come forward and do the evening. Thank you, Sadia. And Naveen from Prominence, the event managers who have organized this event beautifully. Thank you. And also our hospitality partners, Hyatt, for hosting us here, and our beverage partners, Pernod Ricard. Thank you so much. Thank you again. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Shobu. We really appreciate the fact that our guests have taken their time to show up for this cause and lend their support, and to express their appreciation. Mass Mutual India would like to extend some tokens of appreciation to our guests. And I would like to invite Mr. Ravi